One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.
So one of the pieces of the baseball narrative nationwide, of course, is, cold weather, northern-based teams versus those in the South who have better weather to draw fans, to practice outdoors more, et cetera. But from a marketing standpoint, how much consideration do you all give to, what the temperature is going to be outside, the likely weather in the months of say, March and early April when you're planning your promotional schedule?
We absolutely give it consideration, knowing the climate here in Morgantown and some of the uncertainty. It's probably uncertain everywhere this time of year, or at least most places, but maybe a little bit more so here. At least, more of a chance of some colder weather and wintry type precipitation. But really, the way we take that into account is we look at the schedule and say, should we put a lot of promotional things towards some of these March games, or should we reserve that and put a little bit more emphasis on the April and May games when the chances for better weather are there? Doesn't mean we don't do anything in March and early April, but I think all things being equal, we're probably going to lean a little bit more towards throwing the kitchen sink at some of the later games, and really take what would probably be a good crowd anyway and make it a great crowd versus trying to take what will probably be a bad crowd and making it a slightly less bad crowd. So it definitely plays in as we plan the promotional schedule.
Are there specific promotions that you guys have executed in the past that have performed really well, or new ones that you're excited to roll out this year?
We've had a lot of success with some of the traditional baseball promotions. Our fireworks nights were a huge hit last year. Our Friday fireworks. We do the family days. We do the select dollar days. We've brought over what we do at football and basketball with the gold rushes and we'll call it stripe the park, not stripe the stadium like at football. A true blue game where the team will wear blue. We'll encourage all fans to wear blue. So we're really taking a lot of things that are working for us at both football and men's basketball, and trying to translate that over and tweak them a little bit to work at baseball as well.
What about any goals for attendance for the 16th season?
We want to increase the attendance. Now, one thing that factored into our line of thinking is last year the park wasn't open on day one of the season. So we had somewhat of an abbreviated home schedule. Well, this year we have 30 home games with a handful of them in the early part of the season that we've talked about. We've already played 4. It's March 15th, March 16th now, so we played 4 by March 15th with a few more to come here this month. So that did kind of help us recalibrate, not just going to say it's increased average attendance or bust, because one, we have a lot more games. We've basically doubled our home schedule to 30 games this year, and also played significantly more in the early part of the year. So we'll look at that number and know that there's some distinction between last year and this year, but want to continue to see it be a strong number. If it's a little bit down from last year, I think there's some factors at play that really makes this year the first good baseline year with a full home schedule.
And then, as the sport administrator, what's the ceiling for West Virginia baseball within within the Big 12 and nationally? What's the competitive ceiling?
I think we have respect. We've been in the league. This will be our 4th season, and in each of the first 3 seasons, we made the Big 12 tournament. And I think competitively that may not sound like a whole lot, but if you take a look at schools that haven't made it at least once during that 3-year run, we can hang our hat a little bit on, hey, we've been very respectable. I feel like the other Big 12 teams know when they come into Morgantown, they've got a fight on their hands, and when the Mountaineers come to them, they've got a fight on their hands. We've gotten a lot of very positive feedback about the new ballpark from those inside the league and also others. So I think nationally that probably is something that where our reputation is the best, is a lot of buzz about the park. And, you know, people talking to us, calling us, saying, hey, we hear about your part. Tell us a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit about the process that went into the planning and the things you like, the things you don't like, things you would tweak. So I feel like, you know, for Coach Mazey going into his fourth year, he has really brought a different level of respectability, both inside the league and across the country to WVU baseball.
And that's today's One Question, brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996. One Question is designed to give D1 Ticker subscribers valuable insights on how executive leaders in college athletics think about key issues on their respective campuses, in their departments, or within their leagues and conferences. One Question is brought to you by Turnkey Search, a top industry search firm since 1996.